I'd like to call the Board of Selectmen's meeting to order at 6:03. Entertain a motion to accept the February 26th minutes.
Second them.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I guess I'd like to first talk about the official designated posting area.
We're gonna take, all right, so we're going out of order, okay?
Yeah, we're going out of order.
Okay,
The current one is the hall
and outside.
outside. Yes.
I personally want to leave it where it is. And as a courtesy, have the girls put it on, shouldn't say the girls, that's typically not correct.
Okay.
Have the ladies put it on the website if there's such time.
Do we want to mention the board upstairs?
Huh?
Do we mention the board upstairs, the second floor?
Yeah, it's on the board upstairs and outside.
Okay. So, fine with that.
Okay.
So,
Want to make a motion?
motion to make the official posting, the board outside the town hall, and secondary postings as the town website and the board outside the town administrator's office.
The town administrator's office is considered a conspicuous area. It's part of it. It's not just outside. It has to be outside and inside.
So where it's posted now, where this
Right,
outside.
that's an
Right.
official posting area.
Right, that's
Has to
alright.
be both.
That's what he was saying.
He said
Outside.
secondary.
Oh, so first.
It's the first
Would be outside
outside
and
and
inside,
inside.
and secondary would be on the
Website.
website.
Correct.
Okay.
So, a second, or,
I second that, yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I guess I'd like to have a little discussion on possible warrant articles for our town meeting. Well, maybe just an initial discussion and comments.
Okay.
I guess first one, we're waiting on the town clerk to fill in some
Yes.
open positions. The third and fourth articles, the town accountant kept telling me that we were voting two articles, one for salary and one for expenses. And suggested that we reference the salary and expense spreadsheet that we voted on at the town meeting that the finance committee usually represents.
So isn't that just the budget anyways?
But what they're saying is that if we vote the way we do now, without this, it's one salary budget for the town. And it's one expense budget for the town,
Okay.
not a expense budget for the highway and a salary budget for the highway.
Okay.
So,
It's not really gonna change anything though.
no, it's not going to change anything.
Okay.
It's just going to reference the spreadsheet that's presented.
Okay.
Okay? Seven or eight is when we overspend the snow and ice budgets.
So we don't know what the amounts are yet.
Yeah. And Article 9 is a firm number because we have to do the reevaluation in 2020. So we need to take money out of the stabilization fund to cover the
To do the,
reevaluation.
so that's in every 3 years.
It's going to move to 5.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
How come?
The state decided to change it to 5.
Oh, okay. But is this staying as 3 for this one?
It's 3 for this
This
one.
one, and then it'll go to
Good
5.
5.
Okay.
And I
No,
get-
10 is is there
No.
every year, isn't it?
yes. And
11, we have to see if we
you need
remove
it,
it.
remove it or not.
Okay. Is that the right amount for 12?
No,
All right, so
that
we
should
did-
be crossed out.
What should be crossed out, say that again?
The number,
The-
the dollar
The
amount.
75, the amount, 75,000, it should be blank. We don't know the number yet.
For the fire truck loan?
Yeah,
Yes,
So we're gonna cross that amount out?
because we don't know the right
Yeah.
amount right now.
All right, cross that
Sorry,
out.
oh yeah, I have your pen.
That's okay. Thank you.
Is it open? Bob's not coming, so we don't have a key. Can we meet upstairs in your little circle?
No. Could you meet, is Marcia upstairs?
No, is Linda in there? Is Linda in her office? Ask her to open the
About
planning
that
board
door.
through.
Wait a minute, no, they're in planning board's office. You gotta go to conservation's office, they're meeting in open space.
That's a different meeting.
Yeah, but they can go in conservation, because it's open, it's free.
Okay. So 13 is just to see how much we're gonna have to use
it's
for the dredge.
expenditure.
And we don't know what that is yet?
No.
Okay.
14 was,
Because we
Jeannie,
need,
yeah, we need it. Jeannie's gonna try and get us a grant, but if not, I'd like to see it in there.
we got it, because the heating system in here stinks.
Excuse me,
That's just, is that air conditioning and heating, or just air conditioning?
just the air conditioning.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can do a little upgrade to the heat.
Okay.
Presume that 15 was submitted by Brian.
Did Brian submit number 15, or is that just one that's been in there?
That's one that's in there, and it usually is in there every year. I asked Joanne about it, but we're not sure about the amount, so I kept.
Cross out the-
line through it. Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's gonna be 50.
Okay. I don't understand 16. Or we're just rolling that $10,000?
So we're rolling, that's always in there. I don't know
Okay.
if it's confirmed again this year or not.
Okay. And then 17 and 18, we can't, that's for executive session.
That was 19, was a request from the LOC.
Okay.
I have some second thoughts about that.
Yep. Well, it all depends on 17 and 18.
Yes.
Where did this 120 come from?
Who's gonna be submitting 19, 11, LOC or the select board?
It'll have to be the select board, because the LOC is a,
Temporary,
Right.
not a legitimate committee.
they're a advisory committee
Grade
to
two
this, so it would have to
selectmen.
be the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
All right, so where did this one come from, 20?
Me,
I'm against that.
okay.
But we're taking 2 off and we're adding only 1, or did,
No,
right? We're taking off the town accountant and the executive secretary, and we're adding 1 finance board, so where did the other one come from?
There was one finance member on there.
Right, but we went from 1 to 2, but we're taking 2 people off. We're taking off the town accountant and the executive secretary.
Oh,
We're
but it's
changing
changing
it
to
to
town
town administrator.
administrator.
Forgot it, now I see what we're doing.
The finance board is looking to have an alternate. That's why associate member to the finance board.
Would it be associate member or alternate member?
Don't know.
Well, that's, I gotta look at the questioning of the, yeah. Okay.
Okay, the next one is,
That one's not gonna fly.
I'd like to make a run at it.
I'm against it, so. And I don't know what this bylaw change, betterment change, what is that?
No betterment changes, so I think that's a delete. No, remember we got betterments on temporary roads or something? That's supposedly a delete of the betterment.
So we wanna just, this is article, we wanna delete this from the bylaws?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. Bylaw committee, that's fine. And this is the just the executive regular thing that goes at the end. Correct?
Yeah.
This is just what goes at the end of it. Yeah, so that's the one. Okay. So this doesn't make any sense to me. We're striking this and then renumbering 16 and 13.
All they're doing is deleting that sentence. The Lake Oversight Committee shall be an advisory board. They're just deleting that out of the bylaws.
Is that what we want to do?
Mary was in favor of making them their own committee.
You are. They're still got to come to the Board of Selectmen with anything they need, though.
Just like any other committee.
Well, no, the planning board doesn't have to come to us for anything. Board of Health doesn't. Conservation doesn't.
Let them fight for their own money out of the finance board, rather than passing it through us, I guess. Yeah, let's think about that one too.
Okay.
So basically 3 articles
Yeah.
that we want to discuss further.
Yeah, because there's some that you and I don't agree on, so we
Yep.
don't have, we can't
We can't
vote
do
on
anything.
anything. And then, all right.
Do you want to table the warrant articles until the 19th?
Yes.
Yes, I think that's good
Do you want to
ideas.
make a motion?
Motion, we table the warrant articles till our next meeting.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's see, the warrant signed, AP was $56,091.53, and payroll was $30,531.83. So what were we supposed to discuss with the Lake Oversight Committee? Was it the warrant?
Review warrant articles, discuss plans for explanations at the town meeting, RFPs for weed treatment, further LOC business.
Okay, so review the warrants with them, we've just tabled,
Okay,
so that's not gonna happen.
Nothing.
why wouldn't it happen?
We're not gonna discuss it tonight because we tabled the warrants.
But you can discuss theirs.
But theirs was one of the ones that was on here, which we just tabled. Because Larry's not here.
I didn't put it in the warrant article yet.
The what?
I didn't put it in the warrant article yet.
Oh, that's what I thought this was.
I didn't put it in there yet,
Okay.
because you wanted to discuss it with the LOC. I left it out purposely for that reason.
So we're gonna try and discuss what we want to do to get the dredging study
And
finalized.
correct. So that's why I left them out. I think there's a skeletal article for the dredging feasibility study.
Yeah.
Right?
There is.
Yeah, but I left this one out that Larry created today. I didn't put it in there.
So, but they wanted, the Lake Oversight Committee, the warrant they want to discuss, which one? The one for the,
Yeah.
for the
Engineering study?
engineering study, right? Janine?
Yes,
Well, we tabled that. So we can't review that with them.
so are we gonna have a joint meeting with them on the 19th again?
I don't know how we can have a joint meeting with them tonight.
Okay, could one of you make a motion to discuss those articles in particular with them? Here's Larry.
Sorry.
All right.
Hi.
We just tabled this till the next meeting,
Which,
the whole warrant.
okay. The whole one?
Yep.
I thought we were gonna do a few of the articles tonight. It's okay. Where are we?
So then we don't have anything to discuss for the next 45
So-
minutes.
Actually, 24 minutes.
Well, no, because,
Oh, good.
because we tabled it, we can't discuss this articles with the LOC.
They have other business that they want to discuss with us. Their agenda is embedded in ours, so everything in their agenda is on our agenda.
I don't know why we can't talk about them as proposed amendments.
Hmm?
I don't know why we can't talk about them as proposed amendments.
They can.
So I'd like to see us talk about making the dredging report finalized and review their proposed amendments.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
All right, I second it.
What's the motion? Finalize the dredging study?
Yep. And discuss their possible amendments.
There are possible amendments for the
For
warrant.
for doing the dredging engineering and changing them to a independent committee.
Oh, okay, well, two separate items then? I'm still
Yes,
sort of orienting myself to this meeting, sorry.
yes, two separate items with the LOC.
All right.
So
So
two
we
separate warrant items, but then the third item
Is
is the
Finalizing
finalizing
of the dredging study.
study.
Okay.
Okay.
guess,
So you made a motion to
Yeah.
discuss.
So we got a motion on the table, right?
I
yep,
second it.
I second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then I want to make a motion that we can still, at 7 o'clock, discuss the articles that we had said we weren't going to discuss until we went to executive session.
Okay,
Wait, say that again?
We had said when we were going through the warrants that Article 17 and 18, we weren't going to discuss until we went to executive session.
Right.
And then we said we were going to table all the warrants. But I wanted to say that we had put 17 and 18 aside for the executive session, so that I still want to be able to discuss it in executive session. Can we do that?
yes.
Okay.
After the executive session?
During
At
the executive.
During.
During the executive session, we're going to discuss 17 and 18.
Okay.
So we don't want to discuss the article that would make the LOC?
We're going to discuss that with LOC when they come.
Okay, okay.
Could somebody repeat that motion about, talking about their, making them standalone? Ernie, you made it, I think.
Ernie made a motion to discuss the two warrants that they have with them in the joint committee. One of them being the engineering of the causeway, and the other one being making them a standalone committee. Does that make sense?
Yep, thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess I'd like to make an announcement that March 30th is the Oakham Pancake Breakfast, 8:30 a.m. at the community center.
And then there's a walk afterwards.
Oh, where's the walk?
Sickle property.
Oh, okay.
You've got it right there.
And I said and walk, but I didn't know what the walk was.
The walk is to walk the sickle property. So, I want to thank our highway department. They did a fabulous job with the storm.
Yes, they did.
And I noticed today that Union Road was widened way compared to what it was yesterday.
Well, I was driving down Sturbridge Road yesterday after the snow, and it was beautiful till I hit Sturbridge.
Oh, you can tell the minute you leave our town. You can
Yeah.
tell the minute you leave our
Yeah.
town. Because I mean, I left for work yesterday morning at 6 o'clock. And yeah, you definitely tell when we get out of Holland.
Yeah, 6 o'clock too, that was sort of, it was still winding down then too.
Yeah, well, I have a boss that had to be to work, so. So,
You don't get school days off.
no, but he's one of these ones, like, he will, if you do not come in because it's snow, he will not pay you. You cannot use a vacation day or sick day, which is, I think, against the law, but anyways. I think you're upstairs.
No, I'm putting your name.
Huh?
I'm putting your name.
Come to our meeting.
This is the second meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to your meeting.
Okay. Well, no, her husband said he was having a meeting upstairs, so I'm assuming that's where she was going.
Maybe it's a time to be away from each other.
We
Open
actually,
meeting.
we have nothing, actually.
We're in a holding period.
Until 6:45 when we meet with the Lake Oversight Committee.
Oh, so you're not meeting until,
No, we've
Already done
done
ours.
our business already.
oh, you started at 6?
Yeah, we started at 6.
Okay.
No, we always start at 6.
Okay, my mistake. Okay.
Oakham Trust is holding a pancake breakfast March.
30th.
30th, at 8:30 at the community center.
And there's a walk of the Sickle property after.
At what time?
8:30.
Is the breakfast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
upstairs for a moment?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
We doing the joint meeting next or the
Like
executive
oversight.
session? What?
Lake Oversight
Site.
Committee
Okay.
gets us at 6:45, and then at 7 o'clock, we go into executive session. But that's just the three of us.
Well, could we do the executive session sooner since
You
it's?
can't, because it's posted that
Oh,
way.
that's right, people might show up.
No, I can't show off for
No,
the
there's certain,
executive
there's
session.
certain people that have to be given an option to show up to an executive session.
No, but
The
there's-
subjects of the, I think, if you're deliberating, I was reading the regulations, I saw something that, oh, I think, you know what it was? It said if you were disciplining somebody and you were
That's
having an
yes.
executive session, you brought them, they have a right to bring an attorney, that's what I was
Yes,
reading.
yes, but for this executive, no.
Okay.
But we can look at this beforehand, right? We're not talking about it.
As long as you're not talking about it.
I have so many questions to ask you, but I can't right now.
You can't, but.
I just said, I can't right now. I just said I have a lot of
You
questions to
just,
ask, but I
you just
can't.
have to sit there and
I know, sit here and be good.
just go crazy with anticipation until we have our executive session.
Don't forget, we have a meeting tomorrow night at 6:30
What?
in Wales.
Oh, is that the,
Ambulance.
ambulance? Oh, okay. In Wales again at the community center? It's like the worst place. There's no,
What?
that's like the worst spot. Parking is
No, it's
bad.
not. Well, the parking's bad, but it's like, to have everybody sitting at
Well,
this
that's-
table wouldn't work, and it won't work in Broomfield, so it actually works out the best, because they put the 4-round table together, and we had a meeting, so that way it works out better.
I gotta make some copies of this for the joint meeting.
You've got it. Of which?
No, this is the original,
Oh,
this is the original bylaw. Oh, we're not, oh,
you're not going over
we're
them.
not doing that tonight. Get it. We're not doing this at the joint meeting? we're doing this, we're talking about this bylaw at the joint meeting,
Oh,
right?
I thought you talked about different bylaws, I'm sorry.
No, this is a town bylaw, and this is the town warrant from 2 years ago, where we
Okay,
voted in a bylaw setting up the LOC. That's the article that I need to amend in order to make it a standalone committee. I just want people to have an original bylaw to see what
thank you.
they changed from.
I wonder if the Lake Oversight Committee even has a quorum.
So what-
Because if they don't,
It's not a joint meeting.
and we can't, right. Should I go ask them?
Yes.
Because if they don't have a quorum, it doesn't mean anything.
We still on TV?
Yes.
This must be
Dead air.
making incredible television. I mean, we're gonna break all the ratings records
Yeah.
with this mind-boggling entertainment.
As of right now, they don't have a quorum. So if they don't, we can't even meet with them.
Is there anyone, there's no one here? I mean, a quorum is 0 right now.
No, there's two of them sitting in the
Okay.
planning board office.
Are they calling?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
But it might not matter, because right now the LLC doesn't have a quorum.
Yeah. Well, it's all, we still got almost 10 minutes.
Everything happens for a reason, right?
Yep.
And this is for them. So I will, when they come in.
Just leave it, because if they don't have the quorum, we can't do it.
Alrighty.
Which means the 19th will be really busy.
Did any of you lovely select board members make any motions while I was gone?
We didn't know, we were just,
Okay.
no.
Dead air, as Larry says.
Dead air.
Very entertaining dead air, though. Really good dead air. If you're gonna watch dead air, you have to watch it with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's what they wanted to strike.
And then make that one 13. So strike this and then make this 13.
13.
The 3. We got a 13, 3. Which doesn't change anything, really.
They don't have to advise the selectmen.
It's still right here.
Okay.
So
You're right.
it stays that way. And that's still appointed by the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah. What's that?
And other town boards and committees as needed.
Oh, as.
Or as necessary.
Making calls.
Huh?
They're making phone calls now to see if they can dig up another member.
If not, we're gonna have dead air for another 20 minutes.
They have 6 minutes.
Your first life as a selectman, we have dead air. I'm sorry. Maybe like next time when we do stuff like this, we shouldn't put so much time between them, like instead of putting like the Lake Oversight Committee on at like 6:45, if we put them on like at 6:15, because we have like 45 minutes to meet with them, don't we?
Okay, you do realize that you had the articles to go over tonight, right?
I
So
thought
that's why
the
I have to do
articles were gonna
45
take-
minutes.
Wait.
I refined this in my head over and over to get it to where we would be right there.
No, I'm just saying.
Yes.
In the future, couldn't you do it that way? Have them on the agenda earlier rather than later, and then if we're through earlier, we can meet with them. So say we had them on, like, we were gonna meet with them at 6:15, but we actually didn't meet with them till 6:40, there's no problem, it's just we can't go the other
Other
way.
way.
Right, you have 45 minutes.
That's right, so that's what I'm,
Yes,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
So
And I'm
that-
going to do that, and then it's gonna go over the 45 minutes, because that's Murphy's Law.
well, I'm just
Right.
saying, just suggesting.
But if
Yes,
it's,
I will do that the next time.
Yeah, we can always stop discussion in 45 minutes.
That's true.
And go into, yeah, and meet with them and come back.
Yes.
And
Good
also
point.
about the tabling, I'm under the impression that if you table an item, somebody can bring it up at the end of the meeting and revisit it. It doesn't mean that you have to not talk about it for the rest of the evening, by the way. If that helps.
I don't know.
I don't know, because we said we were tabling it till the next meeting.
So why couldn't you just make another motion to
Well, right
untable?
now, we're gonna meet with them, and then we're going into the executive session, so.
But are you going to reconvene in an open session after the executive session, or are you gonna adjourn?
We're gonna adjourn.
Okay, so then there's that. There's the answer there.
Plus, we don't have all the articles anyways. There's still more to come.
Yeah, there are.
Be right there.
What'd you say?
Be right there.
Does that mean they got a third person?
no, she said they're coming in anyways. Right now, it's just the two of them.
But
And
that's,
me, that's 3. And I think we need 4 for quorum.
Are they deliberating?
well, we were gonna deliberate on their stuff, yeah.
No, get the answer. You said that's gonna start tomorrow?
Yep,
Yes.
maybe,
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
They don't have a quorum.
They don't have a quorum.
it's another.
How are you?
So, I mean, basically, all we really need to know is if the warrants got done.
I did the article, I just wanted to talk about
We can talk about it, we just can't vote, right?
it. We can't deliberate.
We can't
I can
deliberate.
probably do it under announcements, just say, this is where I am, and well, I mean,
Copy on the floor.
We tabled it.
we table, what, not, the warrant article?
Yes,
You tabled the warrant article? I thought we were gonna discuss that specific warrant article.
if we,
If we have a quorum, right?
if
We'll
we
do
have
it
a
at
quorum, but
Larry,
I,
I didn't put your warrant article on, so I think that's the saving grace. I didn't put that one on the warrant articles.
Right,
You just
but they,
discussed,
they don't have a quorum.
So let me ask you, when you
We-
tabled all the warrants, that means what Ernie wrote and what, and
You
if
know-
those are due tomorrow, how do you?
Well, no, if you guys don't have a quorum, what we can do is,
They're on their way.
is,
I don't know.
talk about it as a standalone board,
She just texted.
and we
Okay.
can, well, this article we didn't table because it's not on the warrant.
Okay.
So we can technically talk about this article and then make a decision as to whether or not we want to endorse,
according to the open meeting law,
support this article to go on the warrant.
45 minutes.
Well, I was just thinking, well, we're gonna do all the warrants on the 19th.
We have at 7 o'clock.
All right,
Executive session, so we.
I'd say we get one article out of the way.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna talk about it and then
I think it
make a motion. You can vote on it or not, it's up to you guys. I mean, if you want to put her off till the next week and do it with all the other articles, it's no big deal, assuming we don't have to get all the articles in tomorrow.
We don't have.
No, we don't.
No, so,
Because we don't have them on, we're gonna.
We don't have them.
We're gonna
Okay.
have to, we're gonna do them on the
We
19th.
got a quorum,
you
by
got,
the way,
you got a quorum?
from Brandon Road.
Okay. It's gonna be here in 1 minute.
1 minute.
So you think this snow will be gone by March 25th?
We're supposed to have more snow next Sunday.
What's March 25th?
I want to get my boat out of the wood lot to get it fixed. And if I had done it before, 2 days ago.
Oh, you could have done it.
I could have done it.
I'm hoping for more snow.
Stop it.
I love it.
I know, love it so
Did I see you
much.
out skiing the other day?
Who's,
Yeah.
who's the other member coming? Does anybody know?
I think it's
Marcia.
Marcia. And I think I spelled everyone's name wrong. It's Marcia Lee. And how do you spell your last
Yep,
name?
you
Kate?
said Bell.
It's Marcia.
Beal.
What did I just say?
It's Marcia Beal.
No,
No,
she's
Oh.
Marcia
No.
Lee.
Oh, a different Marcia, I'm
Marcia
sorry.
Lee. So it's not Marcia
Marcia
Bell,
Lee.
like you told me it was Bell.
Yeah. Well, you disturbed me during work hours. And what's the name? How do you
disturbed
spell your
you.
last name?
It's Labs,
Did you pick it's Labs? And I put the
Laabs.
I had that name. You.
Do a little Demerson.
Did you just get married
Like in September.
to Ryan?
Yeah. You met Ryan? With you?
Ryan used to be my stepnephew.
Oh,
He's
really?
not your stepnephew anymore?
His mother and my brother are divorced.
So you're the aunt who lives in Holland? Oh, that is so funny.
Hey, is this yours?
He told me he used to come to Holland and visit his aunt. That is so funny. Yeah.
CHRA.
Small world.
So talking to this, talking to this boat company about poker.
How many meetings?
Why are you bothering with the
Oh my God, that's so funny.
What?
It's so funny.
boat?
Small world.
Why don't you just
It's smaller every day.
I like where I go. It's noisy, but I like. So he says,
Is it
I'm gonna
Barry?
have,
Say
I'm
your
gonna
name,
have
Barry?
to call.
Barry's my brother.
Barry, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't
you do
actually
that.
met Barry,
You
so.
do that. Let me know how that works out.
And Jack and Nick are my nephews, so.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's
We
funny.
get together.
I'll go there, so.
We're taking them to PAX East this month. It's like a convention, a gaming convention in Boston. That was their Christmas
When?
present this
Like
year.
next week.
So,
Because I'm
Oh.
going to be away.
Next
They're
week,
good
I've
kids.
got, because I've got all this
Jack's an angsty teenager.
work on Monday.
Huh?
Jack is such an angsty teenager, though.
She's not that, she's sweet though. Next one's in the.
6:48.
Yes, it's shown yet.
We could go before that. You're up early. Yeah.
Do we really want to open it before he shows,
You're up early.
or Marcia shows?
All
We
right.
can't.
I don't need the exercise.
Really, all they want to know is if we did the article, and I'm going to tell them is we did.
Um, Isn't this fun?
Well, actually, I guess I could just ask you a question.
Yes.
What's going on with the 60,000 from Pioneer Valley on this survey and the site
Does,
evaluation? for
the
senior housing?
50,000?
No, no,
the-
no,
of
the
the
60,000
60,000
in
that-
Pioneer Valley.
That, they are going to start working on that probably in the next couple weeks. They were waiting till they finish writing this new grant, is what is what Chris told me.
And then, Ernie, did you find anything out about the money for the other Pioneer Valley money? It was
No,
like
I did not.
The block grant? So is there money left
The
for for seniors
low,
to apply for?
low-income housing.
to
We're
apply
trying to
for-
figure out whether there was anything left in 19. We did the 20.
Oh, there's money left in 19. They've been waiting
Right.
for people
Are
to,
you positive about that?
Yeah, because they're waiting
Well,
for people-
Jennifer Mott does not know that. She thinks there's no money left in that. I heard her announce it at a meeting.
I got a letter in the mail.
we're talking people getting money like to put a new roof on.
Yes.
Yes, there's money left in that account for 2019, and we just applied for, well, that's what he's working on now, is the
Right.
2020, but
Yeah,
there is money.
I heard Jennifer Mott say that she has that there isn't any money.
No,
in that.
there's money left over from last year,
That's what I'm
actually.
talking about.
Let me, you know what?
You need to
I- I will call Chris tomorrow, Dumpy,
Or call
and then
Jennifer.
I will call Jennifer as well.
Because what Jen said is that she offered her help to the other towns to help them have people apply for the grant.
See, the problem is with the program itself that I see is it's not it's structured in a way that people are aware of it. I mean, who does an individual citizen call, for example? If they wanted to apply for the grant, I mean, do they call Chris Dumfrey?
No.
No, call
There's-
Jennifer.
They call Jennifer, there's a whole form they fill out,
Right.
But is
and
it-
then it gets sent into Pioneer Valley, and then they administer it.
Okay, so there is a point of contact?
Yes,
And that's
Jennifer.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Isn't there something about if you use it though, say you improve your roof, and you have so much time to pay it?
Yeah, you have to pay.
You don't pay it back. If you keep your house for 15 years, you never pay a penny of
So
it
what if you
back.
don't?
Then it's
You gotta-
prorated,
Get a
but
lien.
They
to
can have a
re-
lien on your house.
I should have done my ceilings that way.
Yeah, they put a lien on your house.
right. Well, actually, the town puts a lien
Oh,
on your
the
house.
town does, sorry.
Pioneer Valley Opportunity Grant.
But you have to meet a certain criteria. Your income has to be a certain amount
See, I
below.
would qualify for that, because my income is, I think that it's 40,000 for one person.
Right, and it's like 45 for two.
But I always thought,
I know, it's not, it's
That's
just,
right, that's
You
right.
have a person, they don't take 5,000, it's enough for you.
Huh. Yes, if I sell my house, I won't be able to pay anybody back.
but putting, in, like, say, putting a new roof on is
I
gonna be
think
better.
your project needs to qualify too for.
Right, so the reason we did the ceilings was because I couldn't put insulation up there the way they were.
Oh.
So
And
it's
then I
structural.
called weatherization back, and, yeah, we'll come and do it now that now that you spent $8,000 to put ceilings in. But we can't come until April.
Oh, good.
Oh, good, that's gonna help me in the winter.
We're gonna get solar panels on our house. No, so we're gonna do a quote and get solar
I
panels.
don't think it's a great idea. Yay, Marcia, thank you. Okay, so now we're gonna have a quick 10-minute meeting with these guys. And then we can't have a meeting, we won't have a quorum, because he's gonna be in executive session,
Correct.
right?
Motion to call the joint meeting between the selectmen and the LOC to order at 6:50.
Okay, do you want me to,
Go ahead, Larry.
You're looking at me like you're looking at me to start. So I think the main point of tonight's meeting is to go over a warrant article that would make the LOC a standalone board, not directly responsible to the Board of Selectmen. So at the last LOC meeting, I was asked to draft an article for the warrant that would get that change accomplished, and I've passed out a draft of the article. Does everyone have a copy of it?
Yeah.
No,
No, that's not it. This is it.
it's not quite that long.
Does everyone have a copy of the original article?
Yeah, you're right. This is the original.
That's the,
Take the original so you can see what I'm changing.
Somebody from LOC needs to open their meeting. Can somebody do that for me?
I don't know our meeting,
Thank you.
that's what it says, article something to see if the town,
All right, so
well, amended by general bylaw.
So quite simply, if you look at Article 27 from the warrant 2 years ago, that was the article that
Yeah.
changed and adopted the language for the current language of the Lake Oversight Committee. Specifically, if you look at paragraph 16.3 of the original article, it says the Lake Oversight Committee shall be an advisory board to the Board of Selectmen. Well, really, all I have to do is strike that section and take section 16.4 or rename that 16.3. So that's all I've done with the,
So by renumbering section 16C, it's gonna state the oversight committee shall review lake needs and report thereon to the Board of Selectmen.
yeah,
I
but
don't see where it says we're a standalone committee.
it doesn't say you're a standalone committee, it just says you're not reporting to the Board of Selectmen. So by default, by not saying, I mean, if you go through all the other warrant articles and look at the definition of the various boards and committees, they don't say, you know, this is gonna be consistent with the language in the current bylaws. So that's why I did it that way. They don't elaborate too much on what the roles and responsibilities are.
So you go to 16, 3 and 4 are going to come out?
16.3 is coming out, 16.4 is becoming 16.3 because 16.
Well, it says they're gonna report
To the Board of
to the Board
Selectmen.
of Selectmen.
Well, that's a-
16.4 says that also.
Yeah, no, the article doesn't. I mean, I'm getting rid of 16.3, which gets rid of the reporting requirement to the Board of Selection.
Right.
Now, 16.4, I wanted to talk about because we may want to add some additional language here.
Right.
16.4, which is going to be 16.3 according to my article now. The 16.4 currently reads, "The Lake Oversight Committee shall review lake needs and report to the Board of Selectmen." Since you're not directly reporting to the Board of Selectmen anymore, what I would suggest, which I didn't, I wrote it in on,
And other town boards and committees as necessary.
yeah, that just sort of makes it a little bit more
Or
generic.
take any other action relative to.
Yeah.
I can buy into that. You guys?
So you wrote this in,
So I actually, this is what the article's gonna look like. So the second paragraph, so my article's gonna read, to see if there's a typo. So to see if the town will amend the general bylaws, chapter 2, office boards and committees as follows, by striking paragraph 16.3, part 1, part 2, by renumbering section 6.4 to 6.3, and adding at the end of the sentence, comma, in other town boards and committees.
as
As
necessary.
Yes.
necessary.
As,
That's right, you've got it written right there.
oh yeah, as necessary.
Okay.
So that's my I'll make a motion to approve that article. Do we have a
Huh?
second?
second. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, the other warrant that.
Do you guys vote?
We're in.
I-
The warrant that you were gonna write, Ernie, we can't discuss that because you tabled them.
I'm sorry, who made that motion? Did you make the motion?
Ernie made it.
Larry made the motion.
Larry made the motion.
Um, Yeah. Discuss plan for, so, one of our topics was, discuss the plan for explanations at the town meeting. Do you want us to get up and explain? What were you gonna write, Ernie? I can't remember right now.
I was gonna write,
The
article to fund the engineering for Causeway.
Okay. So, do we have time to still get that in?
Yes,
All right, so that makes me happy,
but,
but you can't discuss it.
Correct.
what?
We can't discuss it because we tabled it.
Can I ask Janine about it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
you can
yes.
ask her what, you can ask her what's written, yes.
Okay.
I had a
Why do I
top,
feel like I'm getting something in the back here?
You're not, it's just because he
I
showed up late, we had
understand.
tabled everything, warrants till the next meeting.
I had a subject that I wanted to discuss.
Yeah, I put it on mine, but I don't know if it got on yours because of the
It's on
storm.
there.
The feasibility final review?
Yes. Trying to figure out what do we want to do or request to make the feasibility study final.
Has anyone had any discussions with the engineering?
Janine was gonna call the engineering firm to get the final report. which-
But-
Still no word.
But I believe that we should go back with a list of what we want to make it a final report.
I agree.
That is true, because it's not.
Yes.
I mean, is it, that's my question. I mean, do they think in their minds that they have presented us with a final report?
I do, my hunch is they have not.
Larry, he told me, because his review with you guys and us in this room back in December was the same presentation he did with the HRA, with the Lake Association in the summer in August. And I said to him, is this the final report? And he said, no, it's the same report that we reported to the Lake Association.
What
There's-
more do you guys want to see in his report that you feel
Well,
like
that's
you
what
didn't get
I
from
think
me?
Ernest-
I would like to see an executive summary in the report.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I would like to see some kind of comment about dredging. If we're dredging, are we dredging in front of the dam, increasing the water level that the dam holds back, and what effect that has? Also, I would like to see some kind of comment about the causeway and replacing the culvert. Does that alleviate the possibility of flooding? Is it
Yes.
big enough to,
I mean, if
Alleviate
it's
the problem.
properly, if it's properly engineered,
yeah.
yeah. But he said outright too, they didn't do the actual engineering of what the causeway would have to look like. Because right now the causeway is
That's why
acting
we
as,
want to go out to bid for the causeway.
because he said outright that all of the science shows that the causeway is acting as a dam, but he's not gonna give you the engineered plans for how large it needs to be to not act as a dam.
I
during
guess I'd
high
like
flows.
them to confirm that.
Well, why don't we get him back in here? He was supposed to, and maybe I have it with me. I cleaned out a lot of my files the other day.
Well, I think we need to talk to him and get his comment back as to what his thoughts are.
See,
Final
my thoughts
feasibility
with
was
the dam
supposed to be
too, I don't know if it's gonna put any added pressure on the dam. So I don't think it's gonna increase the amount of square footage of water that's pushing up against it, because they're not gonna go right up to the dam and scrape all the way down, you know? At least I would hope they wouldn't do that.
But if we open up the causeway, right, and more water's going through, what is that gonna do to the
I mean,
dam?
water's gonna go through both ways, ideally, so it's not gonna create this river that's gonna keep going. And
Right.
ideally, like if it gets to a certain level, it's all gonna level up throughout the whole lake and what's over the causeway. Does that make sense? So instead of the causeway acting as the dam, all of it building up on this side and it just staying this level, everything's just gonna kind of go in the middle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
So why don't we, each board, each committee, you guys and us, put a list of questions we have for him and get him back in here.
Yeah.
I mean, the two first steps stormwater management in the causeway. Quite frankly, I mean, we've been talking about this for years, but if we could keep the lake as healthy as it is today by opening the causeway and doing some stormwater management on an annual basis.
I do think we should look into the dam though. That's a really good point. And just having an engineer check it out to make sure that, we're not risking it failing.
Well, can that be part of the dam inspection that we're gonna do in 2020?
It would entail a hydraulic study, which would be a lot more expensive.
Well, I think as we move forward with doing something with the causeway,
We could ask the engineer.
that study would be
That's a
part of
whole
the
nother study, though.
recommendations. In other words, are we getting ahead of ourselves, asking the
We could also
people
ask
who
the
put together the dredging study to ask us what the implications are gonna be on the dam if we open up the causeway? And are we getting, is that too far into the process already? I mean, do we need to get further into the process before we begin asking those kind of detailed questions? And, they may tell us that. They may say, we're not far enough along yet to be able to answer that question.
But also, maybe.
To ask the question before we
Yeah,
accept that as a final proposal, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that they may not be able to get back to us with a definitive answer.
Yeah, they may say, hey, that's not in our scope,
Yeah.
but until we ask.
But I'd be happy to sit back and have all of us come up with whatever questions we have and put it to them, and maybe have them come back and answer the questions at another select board meeting.
Yep.
So when do we want to come back with the questions, list the questions?
Not the next one, because we have quite a bit on the next one.
So,
How about the first one in
April.
Yeah.
Do you want him to come here with the questions, or?
I think we ought to come to agreement between us and then present them
And
with
then,
the questions.
Now here, Ernie, I'm looking at the dredging project schedule, which was the reason these guys won this bid. And they were supposed to prepare final feasibility report between June 16th and June 30th.
What year?
In what year, yeah?
All right, but the thing is that let's, if they're not gonna prepare the final report until June, let's get the questions in front of them.
June, this past October, or.
June or
They were supposed to give us the final report by the end of September.
2018?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they're a little bit behind now, aren't they?
Yes.
This is what Jameson was talking
Well,
about.
that's one of the reasons we were saying don't pay the guys.
Well, it's too late now, but.
I guess I'd like to make a comment about that. I was wrong.
I know you told me.
The
They didn't-
full loan has been procured, but we still have not paid them totally for all of the tasks.
Okay.
So we
That's
get
a
the
good thing.
proceeds, but we haven't paid them all out yet.
Yes.
Good.
We were gonna discuss this in our meeting, and it's not on our agenda for us, but it's important enough for us to mention. Caitlin brought some information home from conservation conference last week, and there's a culvert grant out there.
What?
So the Mass DEP Division of Ecological Restoration, is that what it is? Something like that. It's a division of Mass DEP, and they have a grant program for restoring culverts in towns that are of high ecological value. And there's a lot of restrictions. We can apply to it. They can say no, because it's like, I think they have $750,000, something like
That's what
that.
we told them.
Our causeway is, their main one isn't gonna, that culvert's way too big, that's not gonna qualify. But if we have other ones around the town that we think are on like a good stream with good habitat that we wanna preserve, we can make a case to them that this is important habitat, can you fix our culverts? And, there's restrictions, so like, I think even afterwards, they want to show that, they want to see that we care about the habitat, we're not just using them to fix it, basically, because like what their main goal is to preserve, so it's worth looking into. All I got was like a one-page sheet that I showed to Chris. And we were gonna talk about it at the meeting, and then I was gonna do more research, but.
Brian was supposed to come tonight. And I had talked to him on the phone after our last joint meeting. And he made a comment, he says, oh, I thought you guys were putting me under the bus. I said, not really. It's just that when we ask you to come, we need you to come, and if you don't show up, we can't go any further with stuff. So he took it nicely and said he would come tonight. He really didn't show up. But I will personally make a call to talk to him about this grant.
I don't know if he would be the one to write the grant either. I think that would be,
Doesn't Joanne write his grants?
Yeah, I don't see why she wouldn't.
it's part of their river restoration program. Looking up the website right now, but I don't know if he'd be the one, yeah, if he'd have to find
So if you
someone.
get me that, I'll,
Do you know how much money's involved and whether the town has to make a,
there's no matches.
Yeah, they didn't say
Okay.
anything about you having a match. It said they had $750,000+. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's for one project, and it said a plus next to it, so I don't know what that means either, but. Division of Ecological Restoration, that's what it is. Do you want me to send
So
this?
we, yeah. So we should we should give that to Brian and Joanne and see if they'll follow up on it.
And I think Brian's a good one, or a good resource too, to ask like which of these culverts are in a valuable area that need to be replaced.
Well, one of the things I mentioned to him was, you know, HRA has put a lot of money away for preservation of the lake. And we've been saving it for projects like large or small dredging projects, using it as a match to get people to donate some money. Because there's a lot of people that would throw in a couple of grand to see something happen,
Mhm.
or more. Depends on what kind of beer they drink. I think it's funny, but some of the folks on the North Basin, they drink the expensive beer, and they would come up with 5 or 10 grand. But my friends are the 500 to 1,000 range. So I mentioned to him about culverts. So what kind of donation could we give you, Brian, that would help your department that's related to stormwater management? And he said, maintaining the culverts. And I don't know if that's worth our while. I mean, the members would have to vote on it, but what do you guys think?
I think we gotta get a list of what culverts we're talking about.
That's a good idea.
And do we get into private road culverts and that fiasco?
Right.
But I think you also should touch base with Brian and Joanne to pursue
The culvert grant, yeah.
the grant.
The other thing is we haven't voted on it, we won't be able to do that tonight, but it's favorable to doing the weed cleanup that you asked us about. And that was one of the reasons we wanted Brian here, to describe what we're getting into before we as a group donate our time as well as volunteers from the Lake Association.
You lost me.
The dam, the weeds at the dam.
Oh, the weeds
Sorry, I
at the
didn't say
dam,
the
below the
part.
dam.
Yeah.
Is there any issue with, insurance if we had volunteers and people come out there working for the town, somebody gets hurt?
it would be the same.
Is that an issue?
It would be the same potential liability as on cleanup day and
Okay,
any-
that's what I wondered.
anything else that the town sponsors. I mean, I guess anyone can sue, but,
And the last thing is I sent you.
Can't
I
insure
sent you
against
the
everything.
engineer,
I think I can get forms from the insurance company with the hold harmless. You can sign a waiver.
Yeah, because I wondered how you did that on the roadside cleanup and things like that. Seems like you can't just send people out there. Good.
Anything else?
Good point.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
No, we're not adjourning ours, they are adjourning theirs.
Right.
Second.
All right, girls,
Okay.
we can't have no
Yeah,
quorum
you
for
can't
our.
adjourn their meeting.
We're not adjourning our meeting.
Yes, did.
Motion to adjourn
Who
our,
seconded it, though, or you can't
I
second it?
seconded it.
Marcia?
and we're all in favor.
Okay.
This is yours.
So,
Unless you want to come on for a glass of wine? Because you don't have any wine.
I have beer.
So you have to go into,
$10 a year, must be more than
I would make a motion that the select board go into executive session for reason number 6, to discuss the purchase and exchange, lease, or value of real estate.
and don't you have to make a motion prior to that whether we're going to,
And I don't anticipate us opening back to an open session.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Bye, thank you.